Lads, welcome back to another Dauntless video. First things first, it's Christmas Eve. I woke up from a 6-hour sleep. I went to bed at 8 p.m. and I woke up at 2 a.m. and I was thinking of a video to do, and I was like, you know what? Let's look into critical damage as of patch 1.51. As you guys already know, the removal of Granny's Heartbreaker, aka the crit tonic, before Dauntless Reforged about a month ago, it sort of leveled out a couple of things, and I wanted to see if critical damage actually is still good in the game and if it's worthwhile you making a build around crit damage. As you can see here in the perk summary here, we've got the +6 cunning and the +6 discipline as the main trait of the build. Yes, there's catalyst. You don't have to use catalyst in the build, but for sake of damage and going through the behemoths quicker, I put on catalyst, and most people run catalyst nowadays anyway. If you want to have the link of the description of the build, it's in the description down below. Wait, I just tongue-tied myself there. Anyway, yeah, the build's in the description below. Feel free to check that out. I use Ember Maze Lantern as well on this to make sure I got as much combos in as possible. I didn't want to use Drask because I wanted to make sure I've got like this purely focused on combos. I didn't want to run Pangar. Like I said to you, I don't want to keep doing Pangar and threading through content with Pangar. I really wanted to show you the actual just damage in general, and yeah, just to see what you guys thought of it as well. I would like you just to leave a comment down below what you think of not the build, just on in terms of crit. Do you think that crit's still good, etc, etc? Do you like it? Are you liking how crit is? Does it need a buff? Does it need a nerf? Because me personally, I've got a couple of things to say about discipline, because that'll be a new video in the future. I'll be talking about cells and what I think needs to be addressed that people don't seem to like. Well, not a lot of people like my opinion on cells, so we'll see how that goes. That will be a video when I've run out of ideas, I think. But regardless, this video isn't about showcasing the build because it's not the best, but it's all about looking into numbers, and yeah. Regardless, hope you guys are going to have a good Christmas, because today's obviously Christmas Eve, as I already said. Most people here in the UK, well, I'm in tier 4, which basically means in short, I can't see my family, I can't move. So hopefully you guys who are seeing their family has a good time, and if you aren't seeing your family, keep safe, etc. But regardless, I want to push you through to the escalation, and we're going to have a little chat in regards to critical damage. Before I forget, if you haven't already subscribed and you are new to the channel, please do so if you like what you see. And if you aren't new to the channel and you still haven't subscribed, feel free to do so also, because it does motivate me to do more content in the future, etc, etc, and I really, really appreciate it. Without further ado, moving on to the first round of the escalation, giving us Moon Reaver Strike, a nice little matchup for the Chain Blades. We pot up straight away, we Reaper's Dance in, given our first numbers of consistent damage of 120 with critical chances ranging from 170 all the way up to 220. We also did crit our Reaper's Dance light attack 1200 roughly. We then break strike and then give him a nice little stagger, putting him into overpowered state with our normal attacks doing 150 and critical strikes doing roughly 160 to 250 damage. We then get another boop, prolonging his overpowered state, and that finishes him off. First fight seems really, really good. Nice little damage numbers, consistent crits as well. I really, really like the first round. I obviously didn't lose Predator, and be mindful that all of these numbers you have to take into Predator as well when I do get hit, etc, etc. Our first amp was Critical Dominion. We did try and follow the trend of using critical amps. And moving on to round 2, sees us fight Shroud and Nasha. I decided to fight Nasha straight away because obviously he's got the lowest health between the two. We see normal damage numbers ranging between 120 to 130, with critical strikes ranging from 250 to 350 consistently. We did get a break piece there, putting him into overpowered state, allowing us to see consistent damage numbers of 250 to 350, with critical strikes being 275 all the way up to 500. These numbers are based on what I see, and which me slowing down the recording, so I might miss damage numbers. I am sorry. Decides to repot to make sure our catalyst is up. We get a nice AoE break from the tail, and that finished off Nasha, and we take those. Moving on to Shroud, it's a bit less. The normal numbers are around 80 to 150, but I do believe that I lost Predator. The critical strikes did range from 150 to 250 on the regular. At this point, I think I had Predator back, but I did lose Predator again. We missed a boop somehow. We get a Reaper's Dance, and it was not a critical for 400. We then put it into an OP state numerous of times here, getting consistent damage numbers of 180 going up to 250 on the regular, with critical strikes ranging from 250 all the way up to 450. Those numbers did change quite a lot there because we kept getting him into overpowered state and he was getting up. It was kind of weird, but as you can see, this build does do work, man. Does do work. Moving on to the second amped, we do pick up Spiteful Onslaught. I didn't want to choose Thriller to Hunt just because it wasn't the first round. Moving on to round 3, we see us fight Scorchstone Hellion, which is a pain normally. We start attacking it. We do get normal attacks ranging from 120 to 160 with crit strikes going from 150 to 250. We do die because we're trash. But then this is the problem here. We start attacking its weak spot on its leg, but it is really, really nice to see the damage because we do get a crit there on the weak spot going to 10,000. But regardless, that does put him into an overpower state twice because we get a break part with normal damages ranging from 150 to 180, with crit strikes ranging from 200 to 350. These numbers are really, really weird as well. I think it's because he's got a lot of parts to hit, and I think different parts obviously do different numbers, but it was still nice to see that it's still consistent damage above 250 with the critical strikes. I was still trying to break that leg or stagger him, vice or versa, but I just couldn't do it. It was taking a while. We did get a nice juicy crit there of 1,600 in between amongst all that, and again. We critted there for core damage for 800 from the Reaper's Dance, which isn't really good. But we get a nice little overpowered state here with normal consistent damage of 200 to 300 on the tail, with crit strike damage going between 300 all the way up to 1,100. But that was only a couple of hits, but with consistent damage being around the 300 to 500 mark. That's the end of Hellion. Once again, I'm really, really pleased with the results, considering that I'm using a fire weapon against him. We get our third amp of the Escalation, which leads us to give Executioner, which gives us 25% damage when the behemoths are below 50%. So please take that into account. Moving on to the fourth round and the one before Molkarian, we have Drask and Rezakiri. We start attacking Drask with consistent damage numbers of 150 to 250 with critical strikes of 250 to 400. It's really, really quite big against Drask for some reason. I did lose Predator. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. We're just waiting for that stagger for the overpower state. We hit a non-crit on the tail, and we do lose Pred once again. We get into overpowered state, but we do have no Predator this time, but we do see critical strikes ranging from 200 all the way up to 600, but consistent damage of around 100 to 130. Our Pred is now active again. We got a nice crit of 1,000 there from the Reaper's Dance light attack. Put him into overpower yet again. Kill Drask, not bad fight, pretty quick. Moving on to Rezakiri, we land 2 back-to-back crits with the Reaper's Dance light attack of both 953. Our consistent damage here is all the way down at 400. I think I might be hitting the shield all the way up to 130 with crits ranging from 100 all the way up to 250. I think Pred wasn't active, so we're going to reevaluate those numbers here. We start hitting consistent crit damage numbers here at 200 to 250, with regular attacks being 150. We put it in overpowered state a couple of times here, with our normal damage ranging from 150 to 200, with critical strikes doing in between 250 and 450 on the regular. But it does spike. Obviously, we get the anomaly critical strikes, as always, going all the way to 900 as well. Moving on to Malkarin, the last fight of the escalation. We decide to put up as per usual, and we get our Pred restart. We get normal attacks ranging from 140 all the way up to 250, with crits ranging from 200 to 350. We get a non-crit there, heavy Reaper's Dance of 5k, and we get a crit light attack, 1200 roughly. We put it into a nice overpowered state, giving us damage numbers of 170 to 280, I believe, with critical strikes ranging from 280 all the way up to 500, with the anomalies being around about 800 and 900 if you're lucky. We did hit a nice crit of 2200 there with the light Reaper's Dance, by the way. We beep him again, putting him into another overpowered state. Staggering him again, sorry, putting him into another overpowered state. We have 9 stacks on our Reaper's Dance. We have 10. We do a heavy Reaper's Dance, getting a tail break. Really, really nice there. Prolonging the overpowered state yet again. And that finishes him off. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this. It was just a little bit of a sort of educated video just to give you some damage numbers in regards to cunning and discipline. If you did like the video, obviously give it a like, subscribe if you're new, all of that business, and thank you very much for watching.